Well, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue exploring 3D Capital on the forefront of commercializing revolutionary technology and resources for the 21st century, here joining to discuss, as always, Sheldon, the CEO. First and foremost, welcome back, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good to see you, Carl.
Yeah, a pleasure to get you back on here. I really want to dive into first and foremost on your YouTube channel there. I recently saw an impressive video with Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future, and he's kind of helping launch, I guess, the DeLorean token on SUI Launchpad. Do you want to just kind of explain what that means?
Yeah, so the DeLorean has been an iconic brand for it's going to be celebrating its 50th year in 2025. A group is trying to take it over and relaunch the car. They want to do it around a very futuristic crypto concept around a community which is extremely large. So they basically launched in Miami this past week, and this is what they're going to do. And then I believe they're going to have a token that's going to trade, by February. So I think it's something to stay tuned for. It's something that we're very interested in.
Yeah, we'll leave the links down in the description below, especially to your channel, because the videos are fascinating. Otherwise, I know we're going to be bouncing on a few topics here, but with the election cycle just around the corner, the talk of tariffs and so much going on, I wouldn't mind getting your opinion on maybe just how you feel about Trump coming into office here, what it might mean for your portfolio of companies.
Yeah, so I've made no bones. I'm very much in favor of his policies. Not what he says on the peripheral side, but certainly what he does on the policy side in his first term, criminal justice reform, tax reform, thinking about America's economy and jobs and so forth, as opposed to, treating taxpayer money like it's something to just squander and give away. So I think looking at his appointments, it's going to be extremely pro-business. Pro-business is on the resume of almost, every well, not everyone, but certainly many of the appointments, like even head of the U.S. Navy. So I think we're going to see a very pragmatic, strong America, which I think is going to be very good for entrepreneurialism, for venture capital, for innovation, technology, cryptocurrencies, digital assets. I think the bureaucracy is going to get squeezed out. The FDA is going to start being much more pro timelines for companies as opposed to stopping innovation or preventing its path, more accelerating it. So all in all, for all the companies we're involved in, I think it's going to be wind at its back. So if the companies execute, I think it's a tremendous environment to prosper.
Yeah, and speaking of all those companies, I mean, you guys have a lot going on expanding into 2025 from resources and hydrogen to the crypto projects and so much more. I mean, what are you guys paying most attention to here? I mean, what's caught your attention? What do you think investors would be intrigued into?
So we're gearing up for what we think is going to be a very robust 2025. Unfortunately, many of the things we're involved in we thought might have taken traction, in the spring and summer. It looks like it's 2025 now. So, there has been some disappointment. It's resulted in tax law selling and so forth, but that's all noise. In the long run, we believe that these companies are beginning their commercialization path, and it's going to be very evident in all their fundamentals. We have one company that I thought I would bring up that we did interview months ago on our YouTube channel, but it's a much different company today. They put out a press release. The company is called AIML. It's also their symbol. But where I think they have made a massive breakthrough is in the ability using wearables. And I believe that the future of wearables is going to be dramatic in terms of healthcare. I think ultimately all our clothes are going to have sensors in them, and those sensors are going to deliver data. And using AI, all that data is going to be correlated, and it's going to tell you things that may happen to you, and therefore predisposition, you can get ahead of it and do something about it before an event takes place. But where I believe that they might have just stumbled on the killer app is in the ability to predict heart attacks and strokes. Everything around the heart is the biggest killer of humans, more than cancer. And through wearables and the technology of this company is basically the engine is all around AI, and it's all around signal to noise ratio. They've been able to determine with very high accuracy, looking at different charts. So what's going to happen here is the company is wearable agnostic. So it could be, historically, people think of the watch, the Apple Watch, which Tim Cook wants to make into a real healthcare device. But it could even be a Band-Aid on your body with a sensor. We are going to be able to, for the first time, measure your continuous ECG. So rather than just go to your doctor once a year, whenever, do a stress test for a few minutes, wait a few weeks, get your results, and that's it. Something could happen a month later, a week later. We're going to be able to monitor and measure these charts. We're basically training all these large language model systems of all the charts that people have. And then when you have a certain chart, a certain event will occur. Within every heartbeat, there's three major amplifications of waves. And depending on how they go, it means something. There's a signal there. And so this is something I believe they're going to launch in the new year. So this is not an R&D project. It's basically an implementation project. But for people who know about Holters, the Holter monitor, it's a 50-year-old technology. This is going to have a chance to obsolete all these historical heart monitoring devices and give data in real time and basically allow people to do something about a deteriorating situation that they would otherwise have not known about. So they put out a press release today. They acquired a company called Quantum Sciences. And I believe that the timeliness of this, talking about this now is going to be very, very interesting when people look at this company in a year from now.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate all the insight today, especially trying to expand healthcare on the back of obviously the insane healthcare news that's been going on. Is something that I'm sure a lot of people are paying attention to. But otherwise, you guys also released your net asset value, and I do want to point out that anybody that's intrigued by getting exposure to a portfolio of companies at a discounted, asset value, because I think you guys posted earnings at over $40 million in assets. But I'll leave that up to you guys to go and explore, and I'd love to know what you think in that comment section. Consider subscribing for future news updates, catalysts like you're getting here. But on that note, we look forward to catching you in the next one.